Hey guys, this is Sarah with SarahleeCrochet&Fabrics, and I just wanted for you guys to watch me make an order. I am making the twisted nylon crochet earrings as you see there, and the color you're seeing here is the bronze. It is available in my Etsy or my eBay shop in the bio. But what I'm doing today, I'm just going to show you. I'm sorry about the setup, but I am trying to just make it from my living room and not in my official crochet studio. So I just had to do a quick setup here. So yeah, what I'm doing is, this is not really an actual tutorial, but I certainly can give you some idea of what I am doing. I'm showing you there all of my tools I need. And then I just get my hoop earrings and start crocheting. I usually start with 2 single crochet first. And I go ahead and get that done. And then I do 3 half double crochets after that. And so that's just a starter, because what I will need to do here, I actually have to secure the ends to the earrings before I proceed. So this is what I'm doing here. And what I do is that, as you see the top of the stitch as I'm showing, I actually have to twist that down so it's facing the inner part of the earring. So I go ahead and do that, and then I will dab 2 or 1 drop of my gel super glue to that, and then use this tweezer tool you see here to go ahead and just kind of hold on to that pretty tight so it can get dry, and set that aside. And that's what I do for the first part. So I had to do that with another color in order then to just show you guys that part, and then do the actual earrings. So the actual earrings will be for the customers in this pink and white multicolor. So now I am going to continue. So as you remember, I did 5 stitches in the beginning there before I did the gluing, and then I'm going to continue with approximately a total of 80 half double crochets all around the earring. So I will just keep doing that. What else here? I got the yarn for this from Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they still sell it. It is nylon yarn. And I actually like using that nylon yarn, because if you do have to wash it, you can just wash it with soap and water. So it's not like cotton or anything. It doesn't hold on to stains or anything of that sort. And so that's why I use that. But you can use cotton. You can use, any pretty much thread yarn if you like. I just prefer the nylon. A lot of times you don't have the color range. Sometimes they are a little harder to find in that specific brand, which, like I said, is a Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they're selling anymore. And I do believe Red Heart does sell nylon thread as well, or yarn, whatever. But yeah, so as you can see, I'm just still working on that 80 stitches, and then the crochet hook I used was 2.0. is the millimeter of the hook, and I use a little nippers there for my cutting of the thread below there. That's what I use, or you can use scissors. It's pretty much up to you, but those are some of the items I use. And then also I will have a needle there. So I just go ahead, take a look at everything, and keep going until we get to the 80 stitches at the end. And then what will happen is that we'll show you how you get that beautiful twist effect. And then hopefully we will be able to get some pictures on the mannequin and get that taken care of. So once I reach after the 80, I'll go ahead and do a last single crochet at the end, and then I cut the yarn there. And then I just start twisting. So which is a cool thing, because we did glue that end so that it stays put, so you don't have any movement. And I just twist it around, all the way around, and you just keep twisting and make sure you hold that end of the other part we just finished, because we haven't glued anything yet, so you don't want it to fall off the earring. So you just kind of hold on to that, and you just twist until it looks good to you. For that first earring, it's solely based on what you think looks good, so you just keep twisting it once it looks good. Then now we are going ahead and securing it at this point. So I get out the darting needle, and I am going to just find the end, usually the closest or the last stitch, and then do a knot with the needle on there, and then do it as tight as can be. And then I may go ahead and pass it through another time to secure it, and then make sure that knot is facing the bottom of the hoop, and then I dab a glue on the end, and just making sure it's at the very end of that, and make sure you do not put the glue on the hinges of the earring, because if you do, it's going to prevent the earring from opening and closing. So you want to make sure you don't do that. So I'm just holding this with my tweezer-like tool, which is another item I use. And it just, when I hold it tight like that, it just keeps everything flush. And then I also go back to the beginning where I did like a little quick glue just to hold it earlier before I started. But I add a couple more dabs on there just to get it even more secure. And it dries fairly quickly. And then what I do is I will just nip the ends off and set it aside to finish up drying and start working on the other one. So this is the other one I did off camera, and I'm really just doing the last few stitches here just to show you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And so now I am going through the twisty process again as the previous. And now what I do is I count how many twists I have on the first one, just to make it look uniform on the second one. So that's what I was doing there. And then I'm just twisting it and twisting. I love making these earrings. You can make them bigger, of course. These particular ones are 2-inch hoops that I'm using, but you can certainly use as big as possible. They will still look beautiful. You would just do more stitches, obviously. So I'm just making sure everything is twisting in the right direction until we get to the end, and counting those twists. Add another one here to make it uniform. And then we are going to start with the process again of getting that knot put in there and securing that end to do some quality control. Make sure everything is good once it arrives at the customers and they can wear it with confidence. All of my hoops are hypoallergenic, gold filled, so you don't have any irritation or fading of the earrings. So I'm just going ahead and doing 2 knots on this one and making sure it's secure there, spreading it out, making sure everything is correct before I go ahead and trim off a little bit extra of the tail there. And then I'm going to add the glue to this side. And like I said in the previous part, you want to make sure you do not get that glue anywhere close to the hinges of this earring, because if you do, it's going to prevent the earring from opening and closing, and pretty much your earring is ruined. So that's what I always make sure. So I'm holding it down there, making sure I don't get any glue on my fingers, because if you have glue on your fingers, you know how annoying it is. So that's what I'm doing to this side, and just making sure everything is flush and looking good. And then, of course, once I do that, I will go to the beginning where I added the first part of the glue to start the earrings, and make sure I am completing that side as well, adding a little bit more glue to make sure everything is secure and looking great, and making sure the thread ends that I have there will be all flushed. And so that's why I'm kind of holding that together. And then once everything looks good, then I will clip those ends off. And all those ends kind of melt in when we do the glue action. So yeah, it is still a little wet for that second earring. So I'm going to make sure that It takes, I give it about